Hyacinthe-Marie Cormier, O.P., was a French Dominican friar and priest, who served as the 76th master of his order from 1904 until 1916. He was beatified by Pope John Paul II on the 20th of November 1994. Biography. Early life and education. Cormier was born Louis Stanislas Henry Cormier on 8 December 1832, the feast of the Immaculate Conception, in Orléans, France, of a well-to-do family of merchants. His father died when he was still young, after which his mother took him and his only brother Eugene to live near their uncle, who was a priest. His brother Eugene died shortly afterwards. Cormier received his initial education at home. Later he studied in the School of the Christian Brothers in 1846. At the age of 13, Cormier entered the minor seminary of the Diocese of Orléans. As a student he excelled in literature and even more so in music. He was proficient at playing the flageolet, the organ, and the ophicleide, and had a fine singing voice. Cormier maintained his enthusiasm for music throughout his life, especially sacred music. Franz Liszt heard him play the organ on one occasion and declared him to be a master of the art. Advancing to the major seminary of the Diocese of Orléans, which was conducted by the Sulpician Fathers, Cormier studied philosophy and theology. He was admitted into the Third Order of St. Dominic while a seminarian. Cormier graduated at the top of his class. He was ordained in 1856 by Félix Dupanloup, Bishop of Orléans. Cormier was granted a dispensation to be ordained without having reached the canonical age. Life in the Dominican order. Shortly after his ordination for the diocese, Cormier felt called to enter the Dominican order, which had been officially re-established in France in 1850 after its suppression by the French government. His inspiration for joining the Dominican order reportedly was the holy life of the Dominican nun Mother Agnes of Jesus, O.P. He went to Flavigny-sur-Ozeraine, where Father Henry Lacordaire, O.P. had opened a novitiate for the order of preachers. Cormier was given the necessary permission to leave the service of the diocese by Bishop Dupanloup, and on the 29th of June 1856 he received the habit of the order, beginning his novitiate at Flavigny Abbey, Côte d'Or. It was at this time that he took the religious name Hyacinthe-Marie. Though Cormier excelled in his studies, he suffered from chronic hemorrhage. His health problems were such that they prevented him from making his religious profession. The fathers of the novitiate decided to send him home. The master of the order at the time, Father Alexandre Vincent Jandel, however, happened to visit that house, making his canonical visit to the convent of Flavigny. Jandel was greatly impressed by Cormier's character and dedication. He became willing to make the case to the Holy See for a special dispensation for Cormier to be professed. The master had him accompany him back to Rome as his personal secretary and sent him to the convent of Santa Sabina on the Aventine Hill, where an international novitiate had recently been established. Upon receiving the petition, Pope Pius IX agreed to let Cormier make his profession upon the condition that he be free from hemorrhage for 1 full month, but noting, since it is not for him to live under the religious habit, it will be at least for him to die under it. Cormier then served as personal secretary to Jandel. He repeatedly failed to meet the papal requirement, going as far as 29 days without an attack, but never a full month. He eventually fell so severely ill that he was expected to die. Given his condition, he was allowed to make a deathbed profession on the 23rd of May 1859 in the chapter room of the Dominican convent of S. Sabina. Soon after this, however, he made a complete recovery. Following his profession, Cormier was appointed sub-master of novices at Santa Sabina. In 1863, he was elected prior of the convent of Corbara in Corsica. 2 years later he was installed as the first prior provincial of Toulouse, a post to which he was re-elected in 1869, and in which he served until 1874. Cormier was then appointed prior of the community in Marseille, where he completed construction of a church and priory. He left this position when he was once more elected prior provincial in 1878, an office he held until 1888. He was subsequently elected definitor for the general chapter at Lyons in 1891. Proposed cardinalate. Sadok Szabo relates in his work Hyacinthe-Marie Cormier, 76th Master General of the Order of Preachers, that in 1899 Pope Leo XIII began to create Father Cormier cardinal, but he was prevented because the French government did not look favorably upon a cardinal chosen from a religious order to seek its interest as a member of the Roman Curia. Master of the order after the general chapter, Cormier was called to Rome as socius to the newly elected Master of the order, Andreas Fruworth, O.P. In Rome, Cormier was appointed procurator of the order. On the 21st of May 1904 he was elected as Master of the order at the general chapter held at the convent of S. Maria de la Quercia near Viterbo. He held this post until 1916. As master, he restored many suppressed provinces and erected new ones, including that of the Most Holy Name of Jesus in the western United States of America. Cormier was noted for the quality of his retreats and his powerful preaching. His influence helped to bring about the beatifications of Reginald of Orleans, Bertrand Garrigou, Raymond of Capua, and Andrew Abelin. As Master of the Order, Cormier played a pivotal role in reorganizing the College of St. Thomas in Rome, the future Pontifical University of St. Thomas Aquinas, commonly referred to as the Angelicum. The General Chapter in 1904 directed Cormier to develop the college into a studium generalissimum for the entire order, building on the legacy of the order's first Roman studium at the Priory of Santa Sabina founded in 1222 and the studium general that had sprung from it by 1426 at the Priory of Santa Maria sopra Minerva, and that in 1577 became the College of St. Thomas. Cormier established the new studium generalissimum as the principal vehicle of dissemination of orthodox Thomistic thought not only among the Dominicans, but also among the secular clergy. The college was elevated in status and renamed Pontificium Collegium Divi Tomeda Urbi in 1906. Cormier gave to the Angelicum his mottos: Master, General, Caritas Veritatis, the Charity of Truth. On Holy Thursday, the 17th of April 1916, just before his retirement, Cormier delivered a speech to the Angelicum entitled Vie in Time avec Jesus, Allocution Prononcio College Angelique. The college would go on to be elevated in 1963 to the rank of Pontifical University. Retirement and death. After the end of his term in 1916, Cormier retired to the priory at the Basilica of San Clemente in Rome. He died there on the 17th of December at 12:30 p.m. After a brief illness, his body was laid in state at the Church of S. Clemente. He was buried at the Campo Verano Cemetery, Rome, in the tomb of the Order of Preachers. On the 17th of December 1934 his remains were transferred to the Angelicum University Church of Saints Dominic and Sixtus, where his body rests above the high altar in one direction, and above the altar of the University Chapel directly behind it in the opposite direction. Beatification. During his life, Cormier was noted for his saintly qualities. He gives peace to everything he touches. On numerous occasions he was seen by friars at the Angelicum to levitate in the air while praying before the Blessed Sacrament. The cause for Cormier's canonization was recognized by the Holy See in 1945, and he was beatified by Pope John Paul II on the 20th of November 1994. His inspiration to Dominican life, Mother Agnes of Jesus, was beatified in the same ceremony with him. In his sermon for the Beatification Mass, the Pope noted that, in beatifying Cormier, the Church wishes to recognize and honor the work of the human intellect, illuminated by faith. The feast of the Blessed Hyacinthe-Marie Cormier is celebrated by the Dominican Order as an optional memorial on the 21st of May, the anniversary of his election as Master of the Order.